Oh, welcome to Direct Mail Monday, January 22nd, 2018. Steve Sipress here. And today we're going to dip into my personal mailbox and share some examples, and I'll let you judge whether you believe they are effective or not. I'll also give my feedback, my personal thoughts on them. First, I'm going to share my rhino of the day, and it's this beautiful, I'm holding it in the actual stand, the plate stand. This is this beautiful painted piece of china depicting what appears to be a mother and a baby rhino in full color, complete with gold trim around the edge of the plate. I do not have a full setting of 16 place settings or 8 or even 4 or even 2. I just have the one plate, and curiously, as I take it off the holder and I look on the back, there's nothing. Nothing on the back and nothing even on the front as far as a signature or where it's from or who did it or whatever. But if you did it, if you're out there somewhere, let me know, because this is beautiful and you ought to let more people know. I mean, that's a business lesson in itself, is it not? Like, people see this and go, wow, that's beautiful. I want one. Where do I get it? Who knows? Not smart, but it is beautiful. That's the rhino of the day. And let's get right to the direct mail. Pieces right out of my own mailbox, including one that's not actually direct mail. There's a little tease for you. And let's get right to it. Phil Brakefield is here. Good seeing you, sir. First one is one that, normally I don't open the direct mail pieces, especially ones, especially, of course, the ones I'm going to share here with you on Direct Mail Monday. But I was having a conversation with my beautiful wife, Michelle, and I absentmindedly just opened the piece of mail that it was in my hand that I was going to share today. So I don't want you to think I opened this because it was compelling and did a great job of getting me to open it. It did not. I opened it absentmindedly because it was in my hand. I just found myself suddenly opening it going, oh, what did I do? It has a pre-sort, post is pays in the corner, one strike to not getting it opened. Right away, you're telegraphing, this is likely junk mail. Second thing is, had an out of the area return address. This is Atlanta return address, likely the headquarters for this company, Cox Communications. However, again, a big signal that this is not something of interest to you personally, and just even having just the business as the direct, the return address, and having this business-like windowed envelope. Again, telegraphing this is a business purpose, likely a bulk mail type of thing. However, the only other thing I'll mention about this that caught my eye is because we are already a Cox customer. I have a Cox landline phone. I have Cox high-speed internet going throughout the house. I mean, we have an automatic deduction from our bank account every month going to Cox Communications, and we're getting this new. It's got a little insert in the letter. It's got a new. It's a proposal for us to become a customer, become a new customer. So we should not be getting this, and it's it's pretty well done. It's got a little credit card up here on the corner that comes off. If I wanted to take it off, we can even see what's underneath. Is a picture of a TV. Oh, a TV and an iPad, and like saying we can get it on any device, but it's for some reason a credit card with their phone number on it and a website, cox.com/myoffer, which just shows like this is known as an involvement device. Okay, if I take it off, even like I did, I'm involved with this piece. It's got a credit card. There's no reason. I don't think there's anything on here, or there's going to be anything about credit. This isn't a credit type of card, but it's an involvement piece. And then it has their offer of their bundle for $89.99, no contract. And then there's this long offer code, which of course means nothing, or at least it's a general thing, maybe to track. Maybe they would ask me to track this mailing. However, it's gone to current resident, bulk mail, and we're already a subscriber. So the danger of doing this in your business, dear viewer, listener, however you're getting this and wherever you're getting it, because I put it all over the place, and you could even just be reading the transcript of it, is that you want to, first of all, save some money. Now, if you're a big corporation, Fortune 500 corporation like Cox Communications, they got so much money to waste, it's coming out their ears. So they hire all kinds of people that don't really care or know what they're doing or hate their job, or they're not results-based. They're spending the company's money, and if this thing doesn't work, they don't get fired. It doesn't cost them any money. They're not like us, a small business owner, who we want to make every penny work for us so they can send out crap like this and make lots of mistakes. Not saying it's necessarily crap, but they make a couple of mistakes here. One is they sent it out to customers. So however many millions of Cox Communications customers there are around the country, they might want to purge them from the list prior to the mailing. Number one, because that helps to save some cost. And when it's millions, that's a lot of cost. But second of all, what if there was a deal on here better than the deal that I got when I signed up, or that I currently have? There you have the potential of angering or losing a loyal customer. So I could say, like, whoa, why is this TV, internet, home phone $89.99 when I'm paying $97.22 or whatever it is? Not that I care, or that amount could get me to care enough to call them or whatever, but you see the point. They could cause some problems. So if you are sending out a discount offer, which is a valid strategy for the gaining of new customers, but you send a deep discounted offer. This is not that deep discounted. $90 a month doesn't sound deeply discounted to me. And that's why I don't even care to go look at my bill and see if there's a difference of a few dollars. If it said, $10 a month for the first 6 months to try it out, yeah, I might be calling them up and going, what's up? Why don't I get that? So, oops, I got to put this plate somewhere before I break it. Okay, so because if I put it somewhere after I break it, that's too late. So that's number one. You'll save a lot of money, or you'll save some money and some trouble if you purge your list of your current customers before you send out a new customer promotion. But second of all, especially not in this case, but if it's deeply discounted, you could anger and or lose a customer by putting them on your mailing list with a promotion to get a new customer. And there is the little flyer that came with it. They're very smart to use an animal in there, a little doggy. As people, especially dog people, love doggies. And Phil Brakefield, Phil is still on here, and I know Phil not only loves doggies, but he does a lot of charity work with doggies, for doggies and dog owners. And Heidi is here, and Phil says if you're already a Cox customer, a mailing from them should either be a thank you and or upsell offer, or both in the same piece. Excellent. Excellent point by Phil Brakefield. And we do, or a bill, right? So we do receive things that aren't either of those. They're not an upsell or a thank you, but you're right, they should be. Even the bill should have an upsell in it and should say, hey, why don't you increase your speed a little more? Or why don't you add another phone line? Or why don't you, we don't have the bundle. Why don't you add the what don't we have? The TV. Why don't you add the cable TV to it, or whatever that is? Mike is here. Good seeing you, Mike. So, yes, and Christmas card, a thank you card, or whatever. Okay. Second piece, well, I'm holding it right here in my hand. So this one, I don't know how I got on this mailing list, but since I get on a lot of mailing lists, I have an idea that if I responded to anything from any type of illegal something where they say, you get a free report about this, or if you suffered this disease, or send for a book or whatever, I'm going to send for it because I got to study, because I want to make money in business. So I want to study what other companies are doing. And once they're nationally advertised and investing a lot of money into running the ads and giving out the free book and doing all that, I want to see what they're doing. I also want to critique it for you here on Direct Mail Monday. But once I start sending for things from law firms, I can see how I get on a mailing list with other law firms saying, hey, if the guy will send for a mailing about being injured or malpractice or whatever, let's send them our thing about whatever. So I got this mailing from this law firm in Pensacola, Florida. So this is coming from Florida to Arizona. So interesting there. And even therefore, if I went to them, they would simply refer me to a local, because all law, if you don't know, has to be practiced locally by state. You have to be a member of each state bar. So a firm like this would generate leads and then sell those leads to a local law firm here in this area. And if they're really smart, and maybe you've been the victim of this in your own business, they'll sell the same lead to 4 or 5 different law firms here and say, good luck, I hope you're the one that gets the business. But they're going to sell the lead for multiple hundreds of dollars to multiple lead buyers. So you don't want to be, it's another lesson for another day, but you don't want to be on that end of the of the cash register. I always talk about getting on the right end of the cash register, and it's not buying leads, it's generating your own leads. Put systems into place to generate your own leads, and then you can sell them to other people or give them away to others. Do whatever you want, but get on the right side of that cash register. But anyway, it catches my eye because it's not your typical, first of all, it's not a typical mailing from attorneys because it's fun and interesting. Look at the back side. How cool is that? You got some fun things here. Not the topics. I mean, this drawing of a guy, fraud alert, and he's smiling, got cash all over his hands, and big starburst here and whatever. Now the topics are not. This topic is Bank of America has done some mortgage modification fraud, and they know that affects millions and millions of people around the country. So just by mailing these out, there's a decent chance that I'm like, yeah, I had an account with Bank of America or a mortgage with them, and I was defrauded by them. We actually did at one point have a mortgage with Bank of America. Then it got sold and resold and whatever. Maybe that's how we got on the list. But then there's another one here. Heartburn drugs found to increase risk of developing kidney disease and stomach cancer. So I don't take any drugs of any kind, but if I did, then maybe this would alert me that, hey, one of these drugs I was taking, I got a safety alert, and I got to call this toll-free number or go to this website. But right away, the look and feel of it is not your typical boring law firm crap that you get, that you would just toss. So kind of cool. Now it's got these tabs on it. That's these little pieces of tape that your mailer will put around it so that the full page is folded in half or in thirds, and then the U.S. Post Office will accept it. It has those tabs so it can go through their machines. And this is a 8-page sales letter. Now it looks like a newsletter, or magazine, or some kind of mailing. It's a sales letter, as anything you send out should be. It should have a purpose of getting a sale or getting the next step of the sale, whatever it is, getting the appointment, getting the phone call, making a low-level sale, making a high-dollar sale, whatever it is. This is going to be 8 pages of selling me why to call them. So here's pages and pages of specific drugs. Did you take Tex, whatever that is? Did you take Acum, whatever? I don't even know how to pronounce it. If anybody does, I don't. Not only do not take any drugs, I don't care what they're called. I don't care what they do. I don't care anything about them, except I do laugh at the side effects that you see in a TV commercial, or even better, in a magazine ad, where the ad is 1 page, and then the next 2 pages are all the side effects and all the small print of the gobbledygook, which is pretty much screaming to anybody, is it not? Do not put this into your body. And yet millions of people do. And I know there's, in fact, it's not a laughing matter again, but there's some kind of people dying every day of addiction overdoses from something, some kind of drugs in this country every day. There's a big thing going on. So maybe they're capitalizing on that too. The fact that people are talking and thinking about all these drug overdose deaths. And so why not capitalize that if you're a law firm and say, we will sue whatever company. Look at this one. Maybe this is why I got it. They know that I have no hair. That just for men, hair dye. Oh, hair dye. Well, I thought it was going to be stuff that regrows. That joke actually, therefore, is just a joke off base. I was just joking. I don't think anyone would know that I'm bald, but just for men is not for bald men. It's for men with hair, but it's hair dye, and apparently causes some kind of trouble. So they've done, it's a smart thing here. They've made a very fun type of thing here, and they call it Oath. So they call it the Almanac. And you all saw that, and I said, it looks like a magazine or a newsletter. In fact, that's the title here too. That's what happens when you're on camera and you're talking and not really just reading. But it is the Consumer Justice Almanac. So they've given it a nice name. Sounds like this is just good information. And they've done a few smart things with the fraud alert, safety alert, fraud alert, a lot of alerts, a lot of urgency. Like, this is an alert. This is news. News, one of the most powerful words in all the marketing, something that's new, an alert. But they've gotten me to open it because it's interesting and it's got alerts. And then they've got a lot more reasons here. A bullet-pointed list without the bullets. Where is it? Over here, of reasons that I might open this. If I have any experience at all with myself or anyone in my family with, can't even pronounce half of pretty much any hernia mesh cases, whatever this thing is, man, I would go, my mom was taking Actemra, And she said she, gave her an upset stomach. Wow, boom. Let me read this and call. So, interesting piece here, but you decide. People watching, do you think this is an effective piece sent out by a law firm to possibly get somebody to call, somebody to say that's interesting? They've got multiple reasons to respond. They've got full color. They make it engaging. They get it opened. I think all around, the only thing I'd like to know is the who, which is the most important part. The first W in the WOW strategy that I'm the founder of is the who. Who are they sending this to? Because sending it to me makes no sense. I don't take any drugs, and I don't have a Bank of America mortgage fraud right now, so there's no reason I am targeted to receive this, unless, like I said, I had sent away and gotten on some list for one of these things, but I don't recognize anything or anything like any of them. So I think they're making a mistake here, because as compelling and fun and interesting and full of information and alerting and enraging this is, it's falling on deaf ears with me, because I don't deal with any of that stuff. It's drugs. I don't do them. Okay. And finally, third piece, Sandy is here. Good seeing you. Jamie's here. Chris Bell. Final piece, as I hinted at before, was in my mailbox, not a piece of direct mail. Check this out. It is a rock in a baggie. It's a rock in a baggie in my mailbox. So, first of all, I believe it's federal law. Somehow it might be different, certainly if you're in other countries. I do have clients all over the world and viewers all over the world. Maybe it's legal where you are, but here in the U.S., it's a federal violation of federal law. It's tampering with U.S. mail to put anything into someone's mailbox unless you are a postal carrier. You just can't mess with someone's mailbox. So you're not allowed to put flyers in there. You're not allowed to put rocks in there. You're not allowed to put baggies, and this has their business card. So what I'm guessing is this was meant for someone to put on our doorstep, at our front door. And the rock and the baggie, so I'm guessing that if they just put the business card in the door, sometimes they would fall out, and then someone would complain, hey, you threw your business card into my lawn, or here in the desert, onto my rocks, or it's in my cactus, which actually would really be bad, because I got to now go get it out of the cactus, which is a dangerous thing. So they wouldn't want to do that. Second of all, they wouldn't want it to fly away anyway. They'd want you to read it. And yet, if they just put it on your doorstep, it's going to blow away. Not that there's really almost no wind out here, but chance it blows away. Putting it in a baggie means even on the off chance, I think it's rained here once or twice in the last 2 or 3 months, it's not going to get wet. Or more likely, the water around here comes from watering. My beautiful wife Michelle waters our flowers, I think, twice a day. So it's a lot of water near our house, front and back, for watering things. This would keep it dry. I think the whole point of it is the business card. But I just thought it was fun and wanted to share with you that I got a rock in a baggie in my mailbox. So besides the fact that it's illegal, I wonder how many people, because it only takes one, I guess, are calling the post office and complaining, hey, Lopez Landscaping Services illegally tampered with my mailbox. And you know what? I wouldn't want to take that chance. I mean, there's somebody that could get irate about it. I mean, because I think one of the big points is just anybody other than a registered, legal postal carrier going up and opening someone's mailbox. No one wants that happening. You could be taking out my private stuff, and I don't want you messing in there. You're not allowed to even open someone else's mailbox to put something in or take it out or touch it or mess with it at all. So they really could get a complaint. I just saw somebody messing with my mailbox, and I don't know who they were, and I went down and I found this in there, and I'm complaining that it was them, and you don't want that happening. So, however, leaving this on the front porch. So what I think is the kid that was hired to do this was told to leave these on the front porch, hence the baggie and the rock, so it wouldn't blow away and wouldn't get damaged, because in a mailbox, not going to blow away or get damaged. You wouldn't even need the rock or the baggie. But our walkway, if you've seen, I've shot some videos from out front. We have about 120-foot walk up an incline. It's probably about, I don't know, 20–30%. I mean, it's a nice steep climb up our walkway, and perhaps the person said, I don't feel like walking all the way up there to that house to put this on the front porch, at the front door. We don't have a porch, but we have a front door. I'm just going to leave this in the mailbox, which, again, big mistake. So if you have people out there, I guess there's a lesson, that are putting door hangers or flyers on doors or business cards or whatever it is, or leaving them on doorsteps, let them know that it's illegal to mess around with the mailbox, and that you're the one going to be found responsible. That's who the U.S. government is going to come after, not the kid you hired to put these around, even though you told him, hey, put it on the front porch or put it on the front welcome mat. Like, if he messes around with the mailbox, I have a feeling, I'm not an attorney, and I don't know the technicalities of mail tampering law, but I think the company will be held responsible. So you don't want to do it. But it is interesting. And they do have front and back on the business card, very smart. Not smart, whichever side this is, that it's almost unreadable. Look at that. They've got it in blue with a black outline on green and orange, like almost unreadable. The good news is all this stuff here is drivel, is crap that shouldn't even be on there. From, I could take out my glasses and really kind of read this stuff, but I just looked at a couple of them, and they are just bullet points approving we're a landscaper. We do palm trimming, tree trimming, topping, skimming, lawn maintenance, remove all types of trees. I get it, trees, trimming, yeah, right. Synthetic grass, on and on and on. Like, oh, wait a minute, it gets worse. It's Lopez Landscaping Service, so far specializing in makes no sense when you list 14 things. So you're not specializing. You're saying we'll take anything you please give us. But then it now says pavers, flagstone, barbecue, BBQ. I don't know what that means. Oh, I know what it means. Building you a brick outside barbecue. But are they specializing it if it's just one of a million things they do? Yard cleanup, gravel, block fence, grass seeding, house painting, or we'll build you an outdoor barbecue, or we'll do tree trimming, or we'll do grass seeding, are like all different things. They're 4 different specialties for 4 different businesses. Irrigation system, boilers installation. Oh my goodness. So this guy is a house painter, a heating and air guy, an irrigation guy, a landscaper, a landscape architect, and on and on and on. And then the worst kiss of death in the world, especially in our neighborhood, which is an extremely affluent neighborhood, is they're screaming, please don't call me. Translation of lowest prices in town, which they say it right there. And then they say it again on the clearly easy to read other side, lowest prices in town. Okay, I don't know about my neighbors, but I know us, and people that live in nice homes in affluent neighborhoods and make a lot of money and do a lot of good things and all that, high net worth, however you want to track us, are not looking for the lowest prices in town. We don't shop at Walmart, last I checked. We don't shop at Target. We don't go clothes shopping at the whatever Gap outlet store. When we go on vacation, we don't stay at Motel 6. We don't fly on Spirit Airways, where you have to pay, I think, extra if you want to breathe, and extra if you want to carry a bag, and extra if you want to, like, I don't know, sit. We're not looking for the lowest price in town. We don't drive Yugos. Do they still make them? We don't drive Chevy Volts or whatever the cheapest car is. Like, look around. If you even just look in the driveways, you're going to see the Mercedes, and you're going to see beautiful. Don't they want to work on homes where they do beautiful landscaping? We pay big money, and they want to paint houses that are really nice houses and have a lot of work to be done, and so forth. And people that pay cash and pay on time and don't sit there and ask for the cheapest price and the discount, like so. Oh, and then they also have a house cleaning service. So, oh my goodness, I mean, is that really landscaping service? They're doing 42 different things here, and worst of all, it was just funny, they put it all in a baggie with a rock in my mailbox. So not only is it violating so many rules of effective marketing, but it's violating federal law. So not my favorite piece of the day, although it is fun. It was fun to open up a mailbox and go, what the heck? It's a rock in a baggie with a crappy business card. Okay, So any input here? Phil asks a great question. Let's check it out. And Heather is here. Great seeing you, Heather. Phil is asking, and Chad Powers is here. Great seeing you, Chad. Phil is asking, is there a message on the rock? Let's check it out. That would be cool. See, that would be interesting. Although, come on now, how many of these did they put around? Like, that's a lot of work. But man, if they could do that, that would be interesting. And then I still would be repelled by somebody saying lowest prices in town. But if they said finest, craftsmanship in town, and it was crafted on a rock, and it was like really good quality, what do you call it, inscription, I forget what you call it when you, engraving, really quality rock engraving, like, that could get a call. That could be interesting. Or maybe they put a logo of the Arizona. What season is it? It's still football season, I believe. I've seen some things on TV that they're doing the playoffs these days. You have to excuse me, of course. When the NFL chose to become unwatchable, I stopped watching it. But they could put a logo of the Arizona Diamondbacks baseball team, or the Arizona college, the Arizona Wildcats, or Arizona University, or something, or maybe just the town I live in, or my name. Best of all, put my name, or put an S. So everyone whose name ends in an S, put an S on there. Like, some cool stuff. Good point, Phil. I know it's I'm guessing you asked it kind of jokingly, but it would be a very smart thing to do. Another thing not done by the old rock in a baggie with a business card. And that's it for Direct Mail plus Rock Monday. See if anybody, Jim is here, anybody has any feedback on whether you feel, I've already tossed these in the garbage. For a recap, if you think any of these are effective, we have the Law Firm Consumer Justice Almanac. We have the Cox Communications non-credit card, credit card, new bundle, new customer offer of a bundle, coming in the windowed envelope screaming, I'm junk mail. And then we have the rock in a baggie with the business card with so many things wrong with it, it's hard to count them all. Hopefully the guy gets business, though, and makes money. I love all small business owners. I hope they all make tons of money. I'll just tell you my personal favorite out of the three is the law firm sending out something fun and non-law firm-like, and also entering the conversation going on in a lot of people's minds. Anyone that's taken any of these drugs, and I'm guessing these are some popular ones that have got millions of people taking these, and there's all kinds of cases and problems with them, that they're making a ton of money from this, a ton. Okay, anyone ever hired an attorney? Anyone out there an attorney have an idea how much money they're going to make on a case of malpractice or drug poisoning, or whatever they're going to call these cases, some kind of tort cases, some kind of fault of the company? And that I only know that word tort because I do have a law degree, even though I'm not an attorney. But what are these consumer protection things? Or see, it's been so long, and I don't even care what it's actually called. But it's got to be a lot of interest in this stuff and a ton of money in it for the law firms, and they are fighting for these cases. Okay, because for every case where somebody has a problem with one of these drugs, man, and it's worth a lot of money, what happens a lot of times is the judge tells this company, look, you're guilty, and put X amount of money into a fund, and then everybody can, it's like a class action. Everybody can participate and get in there. And you know who gets the lion's share of that money? It's the lawyers, of course. So they're fighting over all that free money, that guaranteed money coming from these cases. And I think this is a very effective way to do it. So if you have a boring type of business, a B2B, manufacturer where you manufacture widgets and sell them to companies that put them together and make some kind of industrial components, and that's a boring thing, do something fun like this. A doctor, an attorney, a dentist, an accountant, anything that's seen as boring, ordinary, even a plumber or an air conditioning guy or anything that's seen that you're sending out stuff that just says, hey, I'm an air conditioning guy, or I'm a landscaper, and you send out a thing that just says everything you do, like nowhere near as effective as this. So that's my personal favorite of the day, is the Consumer Justice Almanac Winter 2018 edition. I hope they do a new one every quarter. But even if they send the same one out, and they should, because I'm sure there's new drugs and new things being found to be wrong all the time. And I have a feeling they make a ton of money out of that. And again, that mailing coming from Florida, they're really looking, when I call, they're going to sell the lead to law firm or even smarter law firms here, which in law, I don't know if you can sell leads. I do know that there's all kinds of rules and laws. Lawyers would have to tell me about referring cases and all, but if they're licensed to practice, they can refer. I can't get paid for referring someone to an attorney. I don't have a license to practice law, but law firms do and can. And anytime you see these TV commercials for the lawyer on TV and whatever, it's likely he's not your local lawyer, and he's never seen the inside of a courtroom, or at least not in a lot of years, and he doesn't work in an office. He's on his boat somewhere, and he's staying in one of his 5 houses and going on one of his 20 vacations a year and just making millions of dollars by generating leads, because that's where the money is, folks. It's not in the doing of the business, not in the being of the lawyer. It's the doing stuff like that that generates the leads. That's the part of business I love. The rest, the just doing part, is just doing. Even if you're doing something you love, it's still just doing it. And after a while, like, come on now, how long you want to just do the doing of your business? So much more fun, wouldn't it be, to come in and say, like, what are we going to put in this quarter's Consumer Justice Almanac? Ooh, what fun photos are we going to put on there? Should we put this one on the outside or this one on the inside? And which drugs? And what are we going to say about them? Like, that's a lot of fun. Handling the actual casework, I can't imagine. That's a lot of fun. So I highly suggest that you also get really involved in the advertising, in the marketing, and the selling of whatever it is you do. That's where the fun is, and that's absolutely where all the money is. And if you want some help, let me know. But that's it for Direct Mail Monday. Thanks to Chad, Sandy, Jamie, Heather, Jim, Phil, and I can't scroll up here and anybody else that's here live. I know there's a bunch more people. And thanks for all the likes and comments, and continue to put them on, even watching on the replay, and I'll respond. Let me know if you have a personal situation you want some help with. Just send me a private message or tweet me at Steve Sipress, or email Steve at Steve Sipress, and I can possibly do one of my 25K and 25-minute consultations, where I guarantee to find $25,000 for any established business in a 25-minute phone call, and it's usually a ton more than that. But that's it for Direct Mail Monday. I will be back tomorrow with Topical Tuesday, and I wrote it down today and took some notes. Oh, right. Already got what I'm going to talk about tomorrow, the topic and the lesson, and I hope you join me then. Thanks for being here today. Over and out. Bye-bye.